Hi, how are you? I'm sorry I wasn't able to put up a video last week. We had a really bad week. What really made it a bad week was last week on Thursday. The day started normal like any other. I came in here to give the rats their medicine and feed them their breakfast like I always do. My daughter was helping me and we were just laughing over them being silly and cute and making videos and just having so much fun. There was one scene that was particularly hilarious where Peaches, she gave him a piece of pasta and he flung it across the cage because he did not want it, and it was so funny and we were just laughing about it. We took some pictures of Grits and Cece sitting next to each other eating, because every time I see the size difference between the two of them, it just, I don't know, it's so hilarious to me. As we turned the camera off, I was standing right here and talking to my son who had come in, and I was getting ready to pull up that video to show him Peaches with the pasta. And it hadn't been but like 10 seconds maybe, probably less, and we hear screaming and I turn and Grits was attacking Cece. What I think happened is a couple months back, Grits had a seizure. And I didn't really say anything about it because it happened one time and he slept basically the whole next day and then acted completely fine, or so I thought. Looking back, there have been multiple times now where I suspect he was having like mini seizures, or if that's even a thing. They were not like where they run really fast, but I think he was lashing out at his cage mates when one would happen. But I have pictures of some of the other rats with what I thought were scratches, and looking back, it looks a little more like they might have been bites. Small ones, which is why I thought scratches, and I never saw anything and never heard anything, so I thought they were just playing rough, and I would trim nails and then it wouldn't happen for a while, and then it would happen again and I'd be like, well, I need to trim nails again, and I'd trim nails and then it wouldn't happen for a while. So in the interest of making this educational, I'm going to put some pictures up of what I saw that now I do believe were bite marks, especially comparing this particular picture of rips from when Peaches had hormonal aggression. He had all these little scratches all over his body, and this was very similar, but in some cases a little worse. And I'm sorry that the picture quality isn't very good, but there are screenshots from videos, because since I didn't think it was anything serious, I didn't take any pictures. So you're probably wondering what all happened. We separated the rats immediately. I was standing right here, so I didn't even think. I just opened the cage, reached in and grabbed Cece. And thankfully, I did not get bit or anything. In fact, Grits seemed really confused when I reached in and grabbed Cece and just kind of froze there, which is another indicator that this was something neurological going on. It was not an aggression type scenario or a hormonal thing. Cece had the entire top of his head ripped open. He was literally scalped. Called my vet immediately. They said, come on in, and Cece is going to be okay. He does have, every time I count, I feel like I get a different number. It's somewhere between 10 and 12 staples in the top of his head. He was literally ripped open from one ear all the way to the other. The one ear almost was detached. It was very bad. It could have been so very much worse. The kids were both with me, of course, so they were quite traumatized. There was much crying, and since Cece is my son's rat, he was extremely distraught. Daddy was able to distract him and he's okay. I gave lots of text messages while at the vet to keep him updated. Cece had to be dropped off. He had to be sedated to have the staples put in. He is going to be okay. Grits, however, because of how bad this was and how suddenly he snapped, and the fact that if it had happened while he was being held by one of my kids, you know, he could have attacked them and wouldn't have meant to. It wouldn't have been his fault. His brain would have been misfiring. And so we decided the best thing to do is to put him to sleep. The vet was so kind about it. I'm going to show you the hospital cage I set up for Cece. So we got litter box, foraging bucket, and this little hammock that goes like this. There's a perch in the very back, which you can't see. Let's try this way. Perch. Another perch. Forging toy. Ladder that goes up. Another perch over here. This rope kind of weaves all the way across. I'm gonna put a cardboard box in right here and fasten the water bottle over here. In fact, I'm gonna put my spring on the cage. There we go, all set up. Since the wound is on the top of his head, he is allowed to do normal rat things like climb and play with toys and stuff like that. But he has to be on fabric bedding because we don't want him digging in bedding and getting anything in that wound. It needs to heal. My son asked if it could be in his room so he could keep an eye on him, which is so sweet. He loves his little buddy. So we still have Lychee and Peaches and Cece. Cece gets his staples out on the 24th, and he was acting really down today. It's been about, see, today is Saturday. It's happened Thursday. He breasted all day Thursday. Yesterday we took him out a little bit and held him because he was really lonely. And then today I decided to do supervised playtime in the playpen, and that was a great idea. I'm so glad I did it. Peaches and Lychee were actually hiding all day yesterday and only came out to eat and take their medicine. I honestly think they were just as traumatized by the whole experience as me and the kids were. And so it did everybody good to be in the playpen and see Cece was okay. They were all so cute. Here's some clips of that reunion. Just be gentle. He's not gonna hurt you. He's just smelling. How are you? Y'all are so cute. I'm gonna push Peaches into the fountain. He's like wading in it. Look at him with his feet. You guys are so cute. Is that fun? He's licking them to death. That's what he's doing. He's licking them all over. He's pouncing, power grooming, and licking. It was very clear to me that they were excited to see Cece as much as he was them. There was lots of grooming, lots of wrestling, lots of chasing and pouncing, and it was just so sweet. And since then, they've been much more active, which is good. I think they just needed to know he was okay, honestly. You know, rats are an empathetic animal. They do feel our emotions much like dogs and cats do. I haven't really looked into studies on all of that. I just know that from the little bit of research I did before I got them. So I don't know how much, but they definitely know when we're sad. They know when something's not right, and they feel it too. And that was definitely obvious to me today. So I'll keep you updated, but we just have the 3 right now, and I'm not planning to add any more right now. That will happen in the future, but not for a little while. Keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching.